Hey guys, Sarak here, and today we're going to look at another budget deck, and this time it's Dinosaur. Before we get into the profile, I'd like to say a massive thank you to everyone who subscribed. We've finally hit 500 subscribers, and the numbers on the Albaz video have been insane. So, thanks for that, and let's get into the profile. So, to start off with, we have 2 copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Now, this is your big bungus, this ends the game. You're summoning it mainly with double evolution pill. It flips all your monsters face down, pops a baby in your hand, and just ends the game really, really easily because it can attack everything. So it's an interruption, it ends the game, and it has 3500 attack. We only play 2 because we summon it with the deck with double evolution pill, which we can search. Next, we have 3 copies of Soul Eating Oviraptor. This is your main searcher of the deck. If it's normal or special summoned, you get to take 1 dinosaur monster from your deck and add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. You can then target 1 other level 4 or lower dinosaur on the field, destroy it, then special summon 1 dinosaur monster from your graveyard in defense position. This gets insane with the baby dinosaurs and Lost World because you start destroying babies in your deck to special summon stuff from your graveyard, which you then get more special summons from the deck because you destroyed a baby, and it all gets very, very confusing very, very quickly. But it's a really, really good card, and that's why we play 3. Next, we have 1 copy of Misk, and right now I'm going to read Misk to you so you don't have to. During either player's main phase, send this card from your hand to the graveyard. During this main phase, dinosaur-type monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. You can banish any number of dinosaur monsters from your graveyard, including this card. Special summon 1 dinosaur monster from your deck with a level equal to the number of monsters banished to activate this effect, but destroy it during the end phase. It's a hand trap and it's an extender. It says no to absolutely everything, and it also special summons something from the graveyard, from the deck by banishing cards from the graveyard. We then have 2 copies of Animadorned Archosaur, the big lad himself, or the very small lad, in fact. This was the main budget concern of dinosaur builds previously, but this has got its reprint. If it's normal or special summoned, destroy 1 dinosaur monster in your hand or field, except itself, then add 1 reptile, sea serpent, or winged beast, ignore that bit, with the same original level, or 1 evolution spell, that's the bit that matters, from your deck to your hand. This is how we get to double evolution pill so easily. On to the babies, we have 3 copies of Baby Cerosaurus. If this card is destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon 1 level 4 or lower dinosaur monster from your deck. Simple. Very, very simple. Very, very easy, and how we do most of our extension in this deck by using all our destruction effects in the hand or on the field to pop this and gain advantage that way. So we have Baby Cerosaurus that gets level 4s or lower, and we have Petit Pteranodon that gets us level 4 or higher, but locks them out of attacking, but generally we're going to link or exceed with what we summon, so generally the attacking is less important. We then have 1 copy of Giant Rex. If it's banished, you get to special summon it. It can't attack directly, but we're mainly using it, again, for more link exceeds fodder that's really, really easy to special summon with cards like Misk. 1 Dinosaur Pancratops. You should probably know what this one does by now. It's a quick effect pop if your opponent controls more monsters than you do. We're pretty much always trying to go second with this deck because we want to OTK, and it's a dinosaur, which means it goes with all our other dinosaur cards in this deck. So yeah, we play the 1 Pancratops. Next, we have the 3 copies of Scrap Raptor, level 4 dinosaur tuner. Target 1 monster you control, destroy it. This includes itself. In your main phase this turn, you can normal summon 1 scrap monster in addition to your normal summoner set. If this card is destroyed by the effect of a scrap card, add 1 Scrap Factory or non-tuner scrap monster from your deck to your hand. So Scrap Raptor searches us our copy of Scrap Chimera, which we can now play because it had a reprint a little while back and is now no longer ridiculously expensive. Chimera, it cannot be used as a synchro material except for the summon of a scrap monster. Fine, we're using it to link to make scrap wyvern. All other monsters must be scrap monsters. Again, fine, we're using it to link to make scrap wyvern. Don't bother with that bit. When this card is normal summoned, target one scrap tuner in your graveyard, special summon that target. Guess what scrap raptor is? It's a scrap tuner. For our hand traps, we are playing the Triple Veiler. Got reprinted. Still one of the best generic hand traps in the game. It's still really, really cheap. All the things I've said about Veiler previously still apply. We're playing the Triple Ghost Ogre. It just got reprinted. It's one of the best hand traps available in the game right now, especially against things like the Adventurer engine. And it's still really, really cheap. All of those things still apply. And finally, we're playing the Psy-Frame package, because we're a going second deck. Again, we have a couple of level 8 synchros in the deck that's very nice. We then have 3 copies of Fossil Dig, the world's most simple search spell ever, and 1 level 6 or lower dinosaur type monster from your deck to your hand. That's all it does. It searches whatever you need in the deck, basically, except Ultimate Conductor Tyranno and Pancratops. But we don't mind about those because we can get those in other ways very, very easily. 3 copies of Lost World. This field spell just breaks Yu-Gi-Oh! In half because of the amount of ruling headaches it makes. All monsters on the field lose 500 attack and defense, except dinosaurs. That means that you're always winning combat, because dinosaurs are big bunguses and theirs are no longer big bunguses. If a dinosaur monster is normal or special summon 1 Dureg token to your opponent's field in defense position. While your opponent controls a token, they cannot target monsters on the field with card effects, except tokens. This includes their own monsters. Once per turn, if a normal monster on the field will be destroyed, including tokens, you can destroy 1 dinosaur monster in your hand or deck instead. We did use this to destroy babies from the deck. We're doing broken things with this. We're not using it as weird battle protection or anything like that. We're using this to destroy babies in the deck. Yeah. That Lost World is a ridiculously powerful field spell when you read it. We then have 2 copies of Double Evolution Pill. Again, we only need 2 copies because it's very, very easy to search. Banish a dinosaur and a non-dinosaur from your hand or graveyard. Special summon a level 7 or higher dinosaur from your deck or hand, ignoring summoning conditions. This is how we get Ultimate Conductor Tyranno onto the board. It's a very, very easy cost to fulfill, and it's searchable with Animadorned Archosaur. That's why we play it. It's really, really strong. We then have 1 Monster Reborn, because it's a free extender. Again, we like big beaters. This deck is full of big beaters and ways to make more rank 4s. 1 Terraforming, because it gets us to Lost World, which lets us do stupid broken stuff. 1 Called by the Grave, because getting Ash Blossom sucks. And finally, 1 Foolish Burial, because dumping things like Misk, etc. to the graveyard, or stuff for Overraptor to revive, can sometimes just be that extra bit you need to get through a turn. So, that is the main deck, and onto the extra deck. We have 1 copy of Evil Zardolka. You can play this now as well, because it's also been reprinted twice. This is a monster effect negate that activates twice rather than once like Lagia does. 1 Evil Zar Lagia. Lagia is an Omni negate for special summons or spell trap cards, but costs both the materials on it rather than just 1, unlike Dolka. Very, very good cards in tandem. Make whichever one you feel is more relevant. 1 copy of Abyss Dweller. Locking the graveyard sometimes just causes opponents' decks to end their turn. It's very, very simple. It's a good card now, and it was a good card when it was first released. 1 Baguska, the Terribly Tired Tapir. Try saying that with a mouthful of, I won't say dick, but you get the idea. Once per turn, during your standby phase, detach 1 material from this card, or destroy it. Attack position card cannot be destroyed by a card effect. Your opponent cannot target this attack position card with card effects while it's in defense position. All face-up monsters on the field are changed to defense position and negate the activated effects of monsters that were in defense position when their effects were activated. Very good at locking up the board state or just forcing some sort of stall on your opponent when you really need some time. One Light Dragon Atignista. This is your generic monster removal. It doesn't target, it destroys. Very, very good. Probably the first card to cut if you get some extra upgrades. And finally, for the Xyz monsters, one Tornado Dragon for that spell trap destruction. For the Link monsters, we have Scrap Wyvern. Again, this is part of a long combo involving Scrap Raptor and Scrap Chimera that ends with lots of extra material on the field for making Xyz and Synchros. You can target a scrap in your graveyard, special summon it, destroy one card you control. If another scrap monster is destroyed by a card effect while you control this monster, except during the damage step, special summon one scrap monster from your deck, then destroy one card on the field. You can abuse this with Lost World to blow up tokens, and then protect them with Lost World and destroy a baby from your deck instead to get a special summon. One Pentastag, because sometimes we need piercing to get through defense position monsters. Doesn't come up all the time, but you'll be really glad when it does. One Almirage and one Secure Gardener. This is in here because it turns most of your normal summons into a a non-dinosaur monster that goes into the graveyard, which you can then use with Double Evolution Pill. Ever Faithful Nightmare package, because sometimes there's just a problematic thing on the field that you need to remove. One Borrelsword Dragon if Ultimate Conductor Tyranno wasn't enough for OTKs already. Borrelsword ensures that we get the OTK. One Borreload Savage Dragon. Yes, we can play this. I've fitted this in the budget and kept it under £100. So thank me later. Generic Synchro gives us Omni Negates, gets huge for OTKs. It's an insanely good card and is definitely a card to consider buying just to have access to, because it makes so many decks more powerful and more accessible. And then the final card in the extra deck is Psy Framelord Omega. So, that is Dinosaur. I hope you enjoyed the deck. It's a really, really cheap deck, and you will steal so many wins out of nowhere just by beating them to death with your big bunguses. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.